All right, Samori Benjamin here with a New Yorker here in the major leagues, BJ Lopez, Miami Marlins, bullpen catcher, and a New York product. Grew up here in the city and played high school ball here. BJ, man, thank you for joining me and great meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so now I know you played your ball at Grand Street campus, so I mean, how much, were you raised in New York?
Yes.
Okay, you raised in New York, what borough?
Brooklyn, Bushwick.
Okay, Bushwick, Brooklyn. Okay, so how did you get interested into baseball growing up?
I've been playing my whole life. I moved to Brooklyn, New York when I was 7, and been playing with the Bonnies, played against Youth Service, Sayo Grays, and ended up at Grand Street campus with Melvin Martinez, Steve Martinez, the Martinez family. I've been with them.
Okay, interesting. So you moved to, you said Brooklyn, from where?
Puerto Rico.
From Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So did you get your interest for baseball first in Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you remember first just getting into the game?
My grandfather, he was my coach, and I've been playing ever since 4 years old in Puerto Rico. So.
Okay, so you said you're from Bushwick, so growing up in Bushwick in Brooklyn, were you playing in any little leagues at that time growing up?
Yes, Bonnies.
The Bonnies, okay.
Yeah, Long Island Tigers, Hanks Yanks.
Hank
Ray
Jenks.
Negron.
Okay, wow. So you played for the Hank Jenks?
Yes.
Oh, wow, interesting. Okay. Yeah, and I know it's interesting because right now actually the Little League World Series is going on, so I know do you remember playing in that Little League tournament where the tournament that determines who goes to Williamsport?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I never played in that.
It's like 11 to 12-year-olds, so really every Little League kind of in it to start off with, and it's really hard to get to, and then eventually the last Little League standing makes it there. Okay, so how did you end up at Grand Street campus?
So I went to elementary school to a PS 257 in Brooklyn, and I think it was Melvin Martinez. I think he was working there, and I met him because of my family, and ever since he saw me playing, whatever, he followed me through junior high school, and then he told me come to Grand Street campus, and I ended up in Grand Street campus.
That's awesome. And so you also probably played, like you said, outside of high school as well. Were you playing with like an outside league too at the same time as high school?
Yes.
Okay. So just before I guess you had the high school years, playing against high schools and the outside high school team. What do you remember about just traveling through the city and playing other baseball clubs?
I remember I was in a tournament almost every weekend, and it kept me ready for the high school season. So, Hanks Yanks and Long Island Tigers.
Were you a fan of any of the Mets or Yankees?
Mets. I was a Mets fan growing up.
Okay, who were like some of your favorite players?
Beltran, Delgado, Valentine.
Yeah.
All those guys from 2006.
That 2006 Mets team, yeah. That was a very talented Mets team.
Yeah.
My favorite player in baseball at that time for years until he retired was Jose Reyes.
Jose Reyes.
I was a big Jose Reyes fan, love watching him play and all that. I mean, what are some of your favorite memories about just growing up watching the Mets as a kid?
Man, just watching the games every day. I remember the backups. That's how
yeah, right.
I was so into that team, man.
Yeah. Did you come to any of the games at Shea Stadium?
No, never got to.
Oh, really? Never?
I've been to Shea Stadium, but maybe once.
Okay, wow. So it's great that you're right here now coaching in the big league, so that's really cool. Were you a fan of other sports, basketball and football at all?
No, just baseball.
Okay.
Baseball growing up my whole life.
All right, cool. So at Grand Street campus, I know you all ended up winning the PSAL, playing for the championship, right?
Yeah.
All right, so before that, who were some of your biggest rivals at Grand Street campus?
Oh, George Washington.
Oh, wow, okay.
And Tottenville, because Tottenville beat us my junior year at MCU Park.
Okay.
And then the next year, my senior year, we ended up winning the whole thing against George Washington.
Against George Washington, wow. Okay. That's George Washington, a powerhouse for years. Okay, so the Tottenville your junior year when you all lost, what do you remember about that?
My junior year?
Yeah, when you all just lost that championship game.
I remember, man. I thought we were going to win. We had a good team. I think all my 4 years in high school, we had a really good team. And just losing right before the championship, it was like, damn. And I think we did play Tottenville my senior year to move on.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, rematch.
So the junior year, you actually lost before the championship
Yes.
to Tottenville. Gotcha, okay. And then now your senior year, yeah, you faced George Washington in the championship and you win that, right? So, I mean, like I said, they've been a powerhouse for years. I can remember since they had Manny, since then, for years, they've just been dominating. So, what do you remember about that game and how the outcome went down?
Oh man, I remember the game was 2-1. I actually hit a home run
Oh,
to
nice,
go up
nice.
two zip, and then they scored one. But I remember all my teammates. Man, we got along. We were like a family, and everyone, the Martinez family. I remember we packed the whole stadium, just Grand Street campus, and I remember that moment. I would never forget that moment.
And the stadium was that what? Staten Island?
MCU Park.
Staten Island.
In
In Brooklyn, no.
Coney Island.
Coney Island, okay. Coney Island, got you. All right, so and then you're the bullpen catcher here. Were you catcher in high school?
Yes.
Okay, so now, and were you drafted out of high school? You were, right?
Yes, as a free agent to the Diamondbacks.
Okay, so you signed as an undrafted free agent.
Yes.
Interesting. Now, before that, were there scouts coming to your games when you were at the campus high school?
Oh yeah, we had scouts because we had William Jerez. He was one of the biggest prospects in New York. And
oh wow.
There was so many scouts there for him. Kevin Martier, Jose Quaz. He's a pitcher with the Cubs now.
Okay.
He was our shortstop. We had a lot of talent.
Okay.
And I remember scouts being at every single game.
The first guy you named, how far did he go?
He made it to the big leagues as a pitcher.
Okay.
He was a center fielder with the Red Sox.
Oh wow. Oh, so you say he made it as a pitcher, but he's playing center field with the Red Sox. So he got drafted as a pitcher and then became a center fielder.
He got drafted as an outfielder.
As an outfielder, and he's still an outfielder now.
No, he was a pitcher. He made it to the big leagues as a pitcher.
Wow, interesting, very interesting. Okay, so all right, so you said that you signed with Arizona as an undrafted free agent. So how did that go down? Like, how did you, after not being drafted, how were you able to sign with them?
I was in a tournament in Diamond Nation, and I was with the Long Island Tigers. My manager, Ike Ghosting, and I remember we were losing by a lot, but my thing was my defense. I was always picking people off, throwing, had a lot of energy. I remember going home, I was going to McDonald's drive-thru, and my coach calls me, hey, Arizona, Frank Rodriguez called me. And he said, hey, Arizona wants to sign you. And I was like, what do you mean, Arizona State? And he was like, no, the Diamondbacks. And I was like, what? And my parents went crazy. And then they came to a couple practices to watch me. And they called me and they were like, we want to sign you.
So now this was after the high school season ended, right?
Yes.
So this was like the outside league that you were playing for. Interesting.
League, yes.
Interesting. Wow. So that's amazing that you remember exactly where you were when that first phone call came.
Yeah.
So cool, man. So then you get into the Diamondback minor league. So what do you remember, Jess, about that experience and maybe like the difference between high school and the minor leagues at that time?
Oh man, the pitching. I went from, New York, you throw 90, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
But when I got straight to the minor leagues, it was like 97, 100, and I was like, oh my God. But I remember seeing the guys I watched on TV, and I'm like, oh my, I'm here.
Yeah, that had to be a great feeling. So how long did you play in the minor leagues, and when did you decide to stop playing and get into coaching?
So I signed in 2012. I got released. I got traded to Miami for 3 years and got released in 2020. So I've been playing independent ball. And then my rookie ball manager, he's the bench coach for us now, called me. And he was like, hey, we're looking for a bullpen catcher. And I already knew. I didn't even have to ask my parents, nothing. I was like, I'll do it. Fly me out right now.
That's amazing. So how long have you been with the Marlins as the bullpen catcher?
First year
there. Okay, and so before this year, you were in the minor leagues doing some coaching?
No, I was playing independent ball.
Playing independent ball. Oh wow. So the call came to you just like over this past year.
Yeah.
Oh wow, really interesting, man. Cool, man. What has it been for you to be able to be a coach here on a major league level and to be able to just be a part of all this?
Oh man, this is a dream for real. Never made it as a player, but being here and learning from these guys, especially guys I watch like on TV, it's like wow.
Yeah.
And learning, the coaching side and all the analytics stuff, and I love it.
A couple more for you. Who are some of the guys who, like you said, you grew up watching on TV, who you've gotten a chance to learn from?
Schumacher, John Jay, all these guys, Barajas. When I saw them in person, I was like, no way. This is insane.
Yeah. I was even trying to maybe interview your coach, Bill Miller. He led the American League in batting average in 2003. Of course, he beat our Yankees. I'm a Yankee fan. He beat our Yankees in 2004. Part of that. that comeback, and he also actually the only switch hitter to hit a grand slam from both sides of the plate in one game. Wow. Bill Miller, yeah, your coach, yeah. So, guess what's is the family coming out to the game today?
No, we live in South Jersey now.
Got you.
So we just came from Philly, so they were in Philly.
Got you. Okay, last two questions. It's a two-part question. As a player, it could be here in New York, in minor league, wherever. Who's the most talented player that you've played with?
Most talented player. Ooh, he's from New York too. Probably Andrew Velasquez.
Andrew Velasquez is nice. So he went to Fordham Prep, right?
We signed the same year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so was he undrafted free agent too?
No, he was in the draft.
Oh, he was in the draft. Okay. I know he played for the Yankees for like a few games about 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was a very talented ball player that you played with. Okay. And so you played with him on what team?
Loway, South Bend, Indiana, with the Diamondbacks.
Oh, the minor leagues y'all were playing together. Oh, wow.
And I played against him, Grand Street versus Fordham Brook.
Wow. So he's the most talented guy that you ever played with.
Yeah.
Wow.
Athletic.
Athletic, yeah,
Yes.
really? Okay, nice. It's a very good one. And as a coach, it's been a brief time. Most talented player that you've had the chance to coach?
Most talented player. It's a lot, especially being on this side and watching them work. Not just on the field, but watching them work in the cage before the game, lifting, everything. That's hard. That's a hard question. That's hard.
Okay. So, you know what? 2 or 3 years from now, I'll come back to you and get that answer from you, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, folks. So, Brooklyn Zone, Miami Marlins, bullpen catcher, and one of the legends at Grand Street Campus High School, BJ Lopez. BJ, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, buddy. All right, folks, we're back.